Thanks, Jenny. Also, to ask the First Minister what discussions the Scottish Government has had with the SFA and the SPFL to allow football clubs to utilise their local COVID-19 testing facilities.
First Minister.
The Government has held a range of meetings with the SFA and the SPFL and the Joint Football Response Group to agree the protocols and testing regimes which allowed SPFL Premiership football in Scotland to resume without putting the public and others at unnecessary risk. To safeguard public sector testing capacity to meet the needs of the public, the testing for Premiership clubs as commercial entities is being undertaken by private sector facilities.
Stuart.
Thank the First Minister for that reply. And I've been informed that so far over £500,000 has been spent on 7,543 tests by clubs, with this expenditure going to private firms outside of Scotland. And of that, there have only been 3 positive results, which were community-related and not football-related. And many of Scotland's football clubs are smaller community clubs, with NHS Scotland testing facilities in close proximity and not always busy. If Scottish football is willing to pay in full all costs incurred by NHS Scotland for the use of these facilities, can the First Minister indicate whether football clubs will be able to use these testing facilities to take up underutilised capacity, therefore keeping more money in Scotland's economy?
First Minister.
Well, we're certainly aware of the costs associated with the testing of players, and I do recognise that clubs at all levels are facing unprecedented financial pressure because of the pandemic, so I absolutely understand the point that Stuart McMillan is making. But as government, our overriding responsibility is to protect the public sector testing capacity. It may seem at the moment as if that is underutilised. That's because prevalence is low. But as we go into the winter months, when other viruses, colds, flus will be giving people symptoms that may be similar to COVID, we expect that the demand for that testing capacity will increase significantly. So it's really important that we build a capacity that is not just able to cope with the situation right now, but will be able to cope with the situation in the winter. And that is not just about money. It is about the physical capacity of our laboratories and the people that we need with the specialisms to process those tests. So this is not an easy decision, but we will continue to engage with the football authorities to ensure that they have an effective regime in place that can safeguard player, staff and the wider population. And of course, we will also have to consider the implications of the resumption of non-contact sport for all ages, and that might have on testing requirements, including for clubs below the Premiership, like Greenock Morton, for example, in the member's own constituency.